I started looking at like a lot of people like on Instagram and everything. And dude, I mean, I don't want to sound, gay or any kind of crap, but I mean, the guys that are all built and the chicks that are all built, dude, they're like in the 100,000s of followers.
I got you. Let's get it.
All right, we're good to go.
All right, guys, what's up? Back to Unpacking Yak, and we're here on the first episode of 2024. Hopefully we do big things this year, Roland. We got the man, the myth, the legend, the guy behind our biggest sponsorship. We got Mr. Samuel Garza with us here today.
What's up, guys? What's up?
How you doing, man?
Talk closer.
Closer?
There you go. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
How you doing, man?
Doing great.
Awesome, man.
Glad to be on here.
Yeah, awesome.
I'm excited.
I know you've been asking, man, when you gonna have a big dog on? Well, shit, man. Fuck, we've had a couple issues in the past couple weeks, but we finally got together, gonna make it happen. So really, man, we just want to get to know a little bit about you, a little bit about, how you got into this industry, what you were doing before, this, out of the other. So the way I like to start off any podcast, man, is really just ask the guest, who, when, where, how, and why did you get into fishing in general? And I'm talking about when you were a child. So if you can remember back then, who was the first person to introduce it to you? How'd you get into it? Why, when, where was that at? Go ahead and take it.
It was my dad. My dad always took me out fishing. He used to go fishing for bluegill. Do I got to pull it more this way?
Yeah.
Because the chair keeps on going back.
Yeah, if you want to pull it towards you.
Yeah, I'm talking, the chair just starts sinking back and shit.
If you want to raise it up towards you, there you go.
Oh, shit.
No worries. You adjust it real quick, Roland.
Can we cuss on this thing or what?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What the fuck? This is a podcast. We can do whatever the hell you want to say, brother. And I said, we'll cut that. Okay, so.
So my dad, he would take me out. I started actually fishing like bluegill in the Medina River. My dad bought a property back when I was about 8 or something.
There you go.
Good.
Yeah.
Took me out like when I was about 8 fishing. Got hooked on it ever since. And the way I got started in this business is my dad always loved fishing. He used to like to take apart reels, clean reels. He used to just drink a lot of beer and do things, find things to do. So I got into it, and then he was like, man, let's start selling some of this gear. So I started selling gear from my garage, and then escalated. I built an addition onto my garage, escalated even more until we opened up the first store on Rigsby, and now we got this big bad boy. Nice.
So to kind of bring it back a little bit, you said that your dad had bought some property out off of the Medina River?
Yes, sir.
Nice. And do you remember how long ago that was? Or
man, I was 8 years old, so I'm 23 right now. So
you're 23 right now? It's like shoving it in your face.
My bad. I have to move.
No.
How's that?
Smart.
Is that better?
Way better.
That's way better.
Okay.
So you're about 8 years old?
Yeah, about 8 years old. So
and what side of the Medina River, man? I'm a river loser, so I know every damn square inch of that thing.
I don't know exactly. I can tell you that we had the property in front of it's called the Dungeon. Okay. It was off of 2103.
Okay.
The dead end road.
Okay.
And you go all the way back there, and there was a half of the mountain actually fell a long time ago, and it actually made a dungeon door, and we had the big old property all in front of it on the side of the mountain.
Nice. So you were like closer to like San Antonio, or were you back out in the Castroville area in the Medina?
Oh, we're way past that. We're in Medina, Texas.
Gotcha. Yeah. So you're in Medina, Texas.
Yeah.
Nice. So you had that like clear water Medina River.
Oh man, clear, cold.
Let's go.
It was awesome. It was freaking awesome.
Sweet, man. So you said like all little boys, man, you got hooked on bluegill.
Yeah.
Right? Little worm, little bobber.
Exactly.
And then the rest is history, right? That's cool, man.
We used to catch their monster freaking bluegill, man. That was awesome.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So after y'all did that, where'd you end up growing up at? Were you here in San Antonio? Were you out there in Medina? Where'd you grow up? Where'd you go to high school?
I grew up southeast San Antonio.
Okay.
Off of Goliad and Military, that area.
Sweet. When did you move from Medina to San Antonio?
Oh, I never lived in San Antonio. We just had property out there.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, so we just went out there like all the time, camped out there and everything.
Sweet.
But I lived in San Antonio all my life. And I went to Highlands.
Went
to Forbes.
Owls.
Yeah,
Ooh, the Owls. Watch out.
I went to Forbes, and then Forbes Elementary, and then Connell Middle School. And went to Bragg for a little bit, and that didn't last too long, fortunately.
Nice.
Yeah, I wasn't actually quite the kid that I am now.
Nice.
Or the guy now.
yeah, cool, man. Yeah, my dad was a head baseball coach at Brackenridge for years, basically all throughout my middle school to early high school age. And man, I love Brack. I love SISD. That's why. And I'm a dork like that. I would always go to all the games. I know every mascot of every high school in San Antonio.
Oh, that's cool.
It's so silly. It's just random. Yeah. But when you grew up around, going to football games every Friday, watching my dad play, coach baseball year round, etc. You just, he starts to stick to you. Yeah. So you grew up there.
I actually played baseball. I know you like baseball.
Yeah, I love baseball. Love baseball.
Played for Southeast.
Nice.
That little Southside Lions.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Southside Lions does a lot for the community now with like trout stockings and all that. And Shimano and Oscar does a lot of stuff for the kids there. So you grew up on the south side of town, went to Highlands, all that good jazz. And then what did you do before, professionally or for work rather, before you got into this business?
I was actually a licensed plumber. Did that for like 27 years. And then I actually just moved up from being a plumber. And then I was a project manager and then estimator. So I did all the takeoffs and estimations of big projects and stuff like that. Then we went to own our own plumbing company. Owned it for, man, I don't even know, maybe about 8-10 years.
Okay.
And I got injured doing plumbing. I mean, messed up my shoulders. Mm-hmm. So it was getting harder and harder for me to find a job. A lot of people wanted me to go out in the field and everything. And I mean, I tried to do it, but I was just getting more injured. And they saw that I was getting more injured. They're like, dude, you're actually like a high risk. So you're going to have to call it quits. And I said, man, what the heck am I going to do with myself? Had no other thing. And then started fishing and fishing and fishing. And like I said, my dad would always clean reels, drinking beer and clean reels. And I was like, dude, let's start selling this gear. And
you remember how old you were at that point?
Oh, I started this like 2015 is actually the first opening of Outdoor Alphas, when I went to go register the name and everything.
Okay, cool.
So I was like, I mean, I don't even know. I'm 47 now.
So that was like what, 8 years ago. It's cool, man. So basically, so Outdoor Alphas as a company was started back 8 years ago. Well, now technically going to be 9 now that we are in 2024. Yeah. That's cool, man. I mean, I've had my business for just over 10 years. So, I mean, we're, right there around the same time. So that's awesome, dude. And actually, Roland had a question on that, but you kind of already talked about it. What were you going to ask him about work? Like, when were you, like, what you had told me before?
Ideally, it was just like, at what point did you just end up saying, fuck this shit, I'm done with the plumbing business or whatever? Like, I was talking to Albert, I was expecting like an answer like, you ended up getting like human feces all over you, human shit, and you're just like, man, fuck this shit. I'm fucking done with this.
I actually wasn't that type of plumber. All I did was new construction and new construction designs. So I never unclogged the toilet. I never did none of that stuff.
So you weren't the plumber showing up with the ass crack out, stuck under a sink.
I was dressed up a little more fancy, and then did all the negotiating. Yeah,
industrial plumber.
Yeah, I did industrial commercial.
Our homie Benjamin, he's a plumber. I don't know
Benjamin Farlane or something.
I don't think so.
I don't even know who he's talking about.
Sir Bacelot.
Oh, Sir Bacelot. Gotcha. Yeah. Okay, yeah. He's more our age, but he's a plumber. Yeah, and I think he does industrial.
I think he might do industrial.
I might know who you're talking about.
Gotcha. There's Sir another Bacelot Benjamin on Instagram is who he's referring to.
Yeah,
but
I believe that I know him.
Gotcha. Yeah. Nice. So that's cool. So industrial plumbing. That's I didn't even know the different facets of that industry. So industrial plumbing, you were dealing with shit before people like got into the buildings themselves. Yeah. Nice. Roland was like
a lot of schools, hospitals, did a lot of that stuff.
Nice. Roland was like, man, he probably fucking buzzed a pipe open, got shit all over. Yeah, fuck this. I'm selling lures.
It was just getting hard. I mean, that's funny. A lot of people, they need you to pass the physical, and my arms, they were just so bad. I couldn't do nothing. And nobody wanted to hire me. I started looking out of state and everything, and nobody wanted to hire me. And I was like, the hell with it. I mean, we just quit it.
And this was when you were like, you were saying in your mid to late 30s, 35, 36, and you were just physically couldn't lift. Because I do remember hearing you whenever we were just over the last 2 years, since I've been on the pro staff and just been involved with Outdoor Alphas, you're always like, man, I fucking cast it for like an hour, but I had to take a break. Yeah. So I'm assuming that's just a reminiscence of what originally happened. Gotcha. Yeah. So basically injury was like, look, man, I've been doing this for so and so many years. It's time to maybe take some of the money I've made and reinvest and all that. So you ended up selling the company, or what'd you end up doing?
We just closed our company and that was it. Just moved on.
Gotcha. Yeah. And then, so you said you got into the whole fishing world. Like, one of my questions here is, why tackle? Like, what made you feel like San Antonio was missing something, or what? I mean, I don't really remember back 2015, 2014.
That was
I
like
honestly
Gander Mountain.
wasn't really fishing as often as I was. I mean, I was fishing. I really didn't fish at all during college. I was just worried about partying and fucking doing the college shit. I mean,
Yeah.
I literally did not fish in college at all. And then once I got out of college and started just, you know, doing my own thing with my wife and just being self-employed, I was like, I'm going to get back into doing what I love.
Yeah.
And honestly, I was just shopping at Bass Pro, Walmart, all that. I mean, I lived on the north side of San Antonio, so the rim was a 5 to 10 minute drive always. What made you be like, man, San Antonio needs a tackle store? Like, why tackle?
I mean, like I said, I was always fishing, so I was always same thing. Walmart. I was the ugly stick guy. I was getting the ugly sticks and everything. You know, you go to Bass Pro Shop, and then you go to Academies. Don't want to put none of the Academies out or the Bass Pro Shop out or anything, but I mean, they just they don't hire skilled employees. In the fishing. I mean, I know it's hard. There's very few of us that would actually work in a retail store, but I mean, that was lacking in San Antonio. And as much as, what the heck? Sorry about that. I put that on silent.
You're good.
I mean, I was just tired of going in there. I wanted to know about the new baits, what was coming out, what was hot, how they were using it, how they suggested to use it. Nobody could answer none of my questions. I mean, everybody was like, man, I don't even know.
Just look right over there.
Yeah. I was like, man.
Gotcha.
So I was like, San Antonio needs this. And that's why this was my dad's dream. My dad's dream was like, dude, open it up and you're going to make it big, mijo. And I was like, let's do it. So
nice.
Everything I do in life, I jump in with both feet. And I mean, I'm going to hit the ground eventually and I'll pull myself back up. I mean, that's just me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So from what your answer, from what I got from that is you were looking for like a niche customer service that you just weren't getting with your high schooler that worked at Academy or whatever, you know, the minimum wage employee that worked at like an outdoor store that maybe liked to be outdoors, maybe hunted and fished a couple times in his life. But if you needed like, okay, what's hot right now at the coast and dive into exactly what's working at the time, you know, that just wasn't available.
Yeah, so it wasn't available.
So you're basically just filling
I filled that
problem.
gap.
Gotcha. Sweet. I mean, that's what I always tell, or what, you know, I would look at and learn about business, growing businesses, etc. Before I decided to do what I do now. It was like the most, I mean, look at the most successful businesses in the world now. They just fix a problem that we need, right?
Exactly.
So whether that's the iPhone, whether that's the newest, nicest, you know, camera, what any market, right? Whatever the biggest problem is, whoever solves it is going to be a successful company.
Exactly.
So that's basically what you were doing with, you know, your ideology behind, I want to open up a store that's maybe, you know, San Antonio owned, San Antonio operated, and hires people that kind of know a little bit about the products that they're selling, not just like, oh, I mean, I think this is a good reel. You know, you want somebody
that's actually going out there and using it.
Gotcha. And honestly, man, that's why I love Mark. Mark's the guy that, man, he can ask him about anything. Yeah. Oh, right. You can ask him about fresh.
That's the professor.
Yeah. Oh, that's
our fishing professor.
We call him the Hagrid, the Hagrid, the Hogwarts guy. He just looks like that teacher from, you know, Harry Potter. That's like, what do you need? I got you. Follow me to my lair. We got to have him on the pod for sure. We just got to get it. You got to give him a day off. Fuck, dude.
You don't want one. I try to give him days off. And he's like, nah, man, I'll come in. I'm like, damn, all right.
All right, whatever. It works for me. I'll be on the water, right? That's cool, man. So, kind of moving into the next, you know, stage of questions, man. That's awesome. So you were like, hey, I'm getting a little too physically incapable of continuing my career that I've been doing. Let me go ahead and jump in both feet and open a tackle store.
That's right.
And when did you say you opened that store? The first store?
The first store was on Rigsby, and that was 2016.
Gotcha.
September something, or September 9th, I want to say, is the first day we opened.
Nice. And how'd you feel doing that?
Man, I was terrified, dude.
Right.
We'd go like, man, luckily the bills were cheap at first, and we'd be lucky if we made like $100 a week. And I honestly worked that store for a year straight without no day off. All myself. I couldn't afford nobody, man, making that little bit of money.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I just kept on pushing it, and eventually came out to being here.
Nice. Yeah. No, I feel that, man. I know the guys in the group chat, they're always fucking with me. Oh man, you ain't fished in a month. You ain't done this. It's like, bro, I'm full. You know, like you said, 2 feet in on the dream. You know, and it's getting to where.
And that's the only way you're gonna make it. I mean, if you don't give it all your heart,
I
mean, you're not gonna succeed.
Yeah.
And same thing. Fill the gap. something's missing, fill that gap, and then you'll succeed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, it's, you know, I always joke with a lot of the guys that I see that were like, yeah, I'm working hard, blah, blah, blah. Dude, hard work is the prerequisite. Grinding is the prerequisite.
Yeah.
That's not anything to be, you know, to boast about.
Yeah.
You know, hard work, dedication, and grind, that is all prerequisites to anything, right? Like, I mean, you know, so, man, I understand that. So that's cool. So you basically were like, fuck, you know, this is self-employment. This is, you know, picking myself up by the bootstraps. This is, you know, getting by, making $100 a week, whatever you got to do. So that's cool, man. I can really understand and appreciate that side of the business things. And how did that first store do for you? Because I remember when we first got involved with each other, I think I had swung by one of your old stores, or the old store on Rigsby, and I went to East Central. So, like, I was familiar with Rigsby, WW White, Southeast Military, all that side of town. I mean, my mom still drives fucking 55 minutes an hour to work every day. I don't know why. She's only got I think she's going to retire after this year. Thank goodness, so she can, you know,
save some gas,
spend some time with my daughter, get, you know, just basically retire. And she, you know, she deserves it. You know, she shouldn't be driving an hour to work every day. So I knew all about that area. Grew up over there, played ball over there, had all my friends over there, but I've always lived on the north side of town. Again, my mom drove me every day to that side of town. It was crazy. But I remember headed over there, and I remember meeting you for the first time. I think we did some halos for you for your first Jeep. I know you love Jeeps. Roland loves that you love Jeeps. I know he's got some questions about some Jeep things later on. But how was that first store, man? Do you feel like it was, you know, a good stepping stone, a good learning point?
Dude, that store was phenomenal. Man, I got turned down from... I mean, like now we're direct pretty much with everybody. So, I mean, that store got turned down from every direct person. They would walk in the store and they'd look around. They're like, dude, this is a 10 by 10 foot store. You're not going to make it. And they would be like, come back to us later. You know, the next year they were like, dude, we're amazed you're doing this much business. We want to put your stuff in. And 13 Fishing was actually my first direct account ever. And then after that, we started landing Daiwa, Shimano, everything. And Mega Bass. I was surprised Mega Bass because you got to meet a quota for Mega Bass. And I was able to meet it. I mean...
So that's a good segue. I didn't even have any of that on my questions, but it's just cool to know the ins and outs. This is why I love podcasting and why I love long form interviews, because it's like, we post stuff on the Instagram, or I'll help with the social media on the page, but it's like, I mean, they don't know who you are. They don't hear that stuff, and that stuff's cool to hear. So who were you offering when you first got the store open? Not like being a new player in the game. Like, how do you go about, you know, finding companies that are willing to sell my stuff at your store that nobody's heard of? Like, how
Dude, it was
tell me about
hard.
the back end.
Matt, you just have to search for all the distributors, everything, and people that are actually willing to let you do gear, because a lot of people ain't going to give you gear if you can't push it. I mean, they'll just end up losing money. So, I mean, you got to make yourself worthy. So at first, I was actually pouring my own baits. I don't know if a lot of y'all remember that. I was pouring on my own soft plastics, my crawls, my Cincos, all of that.
And just packaging them and selling them as outdoor alpha.
Yeah. We started coming up, made our own leaders, everything that I could manufacture myself. And then little by little, as people would be like, you know what? I think we can make something work. And man, there was a guy in Kentucky who actually gave me his jigs. Actually, he still follows me actually to this day.
What's his name? Shout him out.
I can't even remember his name. God, sorry about it, brother. But he was my first guy. He was like, dude, I can put these jigs. I hand tie them and everything in your store, custom jigs. And that was my first big break. And then 13 Fishing came along, and it was rough. But man, to start a store, it is extremely tough. I mean, a lot of people didn't believe in me, like the dealers, because if you ain't got a serious amount of money, it is hard for you to make it.
You had no pedigree either. Like, you had no background.
I had no background at all. It was like me trying to get a bank loan with no job.
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
Hard.
You didn't have any, like, you didn't have like whatchamacallit, let me turn this off. You didn't have anything to show them, like, oh, here was my last year in sales.
Yeah,
I did,
exactly.
$400,000 in sales, and they're like, oh, dope, we're gonna, cool, this guy sells stuff. So basically, you started packaging and selling your own lures, etc., to just make rent, get by, and then you said that guy from Kentucky.
Kentucky.
Okay, Kentucky gave you some jigs to sell, and you were like, hell yeah, that's dope. And then I remember the first time, I had got guys that were like sending us baits to throw and stuff, and I can relate to into that as well.
Yeah.
But also, what happened with 13 Fishing? They they were new to the market too.
Yeah.
Like, when did they come out? I don't remember.
Man, I don't even know. They had been out for a while because I had been fishing with them probably, I want to say maybe 2014 maybe. I was fishing with the A1. Well, it was just the A back then. That was my reel. I mean, man, I had like 22 pounds of bulldog drag or something like that.
It says here that 13 Fishing was founded in 2010.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I know for like 14, I was already fishing with them already.
Gotcha. Nice. So 14, 15, they were still a pretty young company as well.
New, yeah.
Six years or so. And I remember when they came onto the market, just everybody was like, oh, the ceramics, these guys are going to fucking, they're quiet. I just remember that type of stuff. And back then when they first came out, man, I was like you were saying, dude, I was throwing the ugly sticks. I was throwing spinning reels as if I remember like it was yesterday, especially with my group of friends. They would all have bait casters and shit, and it's so funny. I'd be talking shit like, I could do everything you're doing with the bait caster with the spinning reel. To a certain point, that's true, and then after you realize you need a spinning reel or a casting reel, and you need to learn how to throw a bait caster, etc. But that's cool, man. So 13 Fishing, what was like the deal? Do you remember like what they do? They reached out.
Yeah, a lot of them they always have like an opening order, and I think back then, I mean, it was only like $1,000 or something like that. So it just kept on scraping up money. And then I finally had $1,000 and I called the rep. Hey, dude, I finally got the money. Let's go ahead and make an order. And
nice.
That worked out pretty dang good. I mean, we were selling a lot of 13 Fish. I still think they are pretty dang good reels. I like how compact they are. They're pretty sick.
Nice. That's super sweet. And you don't have to get into logistics, you don't have to get into the numbers or any of that, but like the whole concept of a tackle store, is it you buy product in bulk at a discounted rate and then sell at a retail rate? I mean, that's basically how it goes. That's basically how to run. Again, we're not talking numbers or anything. Personally, I'm just, again, interested in different business models. So that's essentially what it was. You needed to meet a minimum requirement of $1,000 from 13 Fishing. You meet that requirement, and then whatever, you get maybe 50 reels or whatever it is.
They upped it now. A lot of them are like, now you have to maintain a $20,000 a year, $100,000 a year to keep this status. If you don't, you lose your status and all that. And losing your status once you're on top, you don't want to do that.
Gotcha.
It's hard.
Gotcha. And that seems tough, especially for, locally owned and operated businesses. Because, of course, a Bass Pro Shops, of course, an academy, of course, an established business with multiple retail centers, they're going to be able to hit a $20,000.
Oh, easy.
They're going to be able to keep $100,000 in product a year. But for, a mom and pop shop, that could be tough.
It is tough sometimes, man. That's why I'm always hustling. I have all the employees hustling. I mean,
you're always selling shit on Facebook Marketplace. You'll buy a used thong and sell it for triple the price.
That's how it goes, bro. And I'll put slightly used.
Slightly, dude. I mean, every time I get on Facebook, I see Sam. I got a fresh pair of socks. I wore them once. They were $7.99. I'm letting them go for $5 today.
Need them gone ASAP.
ASAP. Whatever it is, dude. I just ran over this car. It still runs. Whatever that is, So that's cool, man.
We have to tell you yo, don't post, don't sell anything on the IG page.
Oh yeah. No, and I remember so now this is my second season with you, on the team. I remember when I first came in, it was just like, man, I still love social media. If I had to pick a job that was like, you had to work a job, you couldn't own your own business, I'd be in marketing. I love it.
Marketing is fun. That's what I do now.
It is fun. It's fun. It's the new way. It basically breaks down all the gatekeeping of advertising that always was there before.
Yep.
You don't need to go pay Ken's $5,000 to post your store.
Exactly.
You don't need
the radio stations.
You don't need to pay radio station. There's different avenues of reaching the consumer now, and you can all do it with your cell phone and a laptop, and then obviously a setup like this, a podcast. So I like that, man. I like the way the flow of the podcast is going. Rolling, before I continue, did you have any more questions? I mean, did you have a question that you wanted to get in with him, or?
I guess, the question that I have right now is, as far as like fitness goes, like how's that been working out for you?
Pretty good. I'm still stuck at my 19-pound loss. I actually gained like a couple of pounds for Christmas, but I'm stuck on my 19 pounds, and I'm at 6.5, 6.5 inches lost. And I've actually only done that in 3 months of time of working out.
That's good, man.
I've been pushing hour and a half. It's always hour and a half to 2 hours on my workout. I got the Bowflex, the new Bowflex, and I got a treadmill. So I run from 26 to 36 minutes a day. And then I work out for like an hour and 10 minutes on the Bowflex every day.
That's
I
good,
mean,
man.
nonstop. I mean, burning 700 calories a day, pretty much.
What got you to that point where you're just like, you know what, I need to do something?
Yeah, I love hearing
Man,
that
you know
part.
what?
When did you realize I'm too fucking fat?
This is it's gonna be it's kind of weird how it all started, bro.
It's not, nothing's weird.
No, because Albert couldn't even tie his own fucking shoe.
Yeah. When I lost,
that was his breaking point.
I was 212 at my biggest.
Wow.
And
we'd be on the water, and Albert like would have to hold his breath to try to tie his shoe.
When I always say that kayak fishing saved my life, especially right before the pandemic, man. If I would have got, I can't even imagine getting COVID, fat fuck Albert. I couldn't imagine. Right before the pandemic hit, I had lost 53 pounds. I was down to 165. I was fit as hell, and I loved it.
He had his abs for the first time.
I almost had abs, exactly. But I got to that point where we're asking you is where I remember when I would go fishing in the kayak, I would have to hold my breath to reach down to grab something like towards my feet, and I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm dropping the tacos. I'm dropping the sweet tea.
Yeah.
I'm doing a lifestyle change. Yeah. Then they shut the gyms down, and I mean, I still float around 175, 185, which is, I like that. It's comfortable, you know, but get to that point where I was, we were doing 2 days. We were eating to live, not living to eat.
Exactly.
In San Antonio, being Hispanic is really hard to just eat to live. You really wake up every day like, bro, what am I going to eat today? Everything's so good. Exactly. But when you change that mindset that you need to eat to live, not live to eat, that's when I felt like I was at the point. I was just eating to consume, meaning I would just get up, have my meal preps every day, and it was just like, that's part of, it's like sleep.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's tough, right? Yeah. It's tough whenever the food's good, and I stopped drinking my calories. That's another big thing. Yeah. But anyways, what were you saying? What was that point?
Well, I mean, that was kayaking and all that was one of them. And then, I'm starting to be more of the face out there and doing the more marketing and stuff with, for the company and everything. I just wanted to look good. You look at yourself in the mirror, you're like, God dang, dude, you are kind of big. Mm-hmm. And I used to be freaking fit as hell. Mm-hmm. And then I just said, you know what? I'm going to get back into it. Right then, just bought the Bowflex, jumped into it, started doing it. I mean, I started looking at like a lot of people like on Instagram and everything. And dude, I mean, I don't want to sound, gay or any kind of crap, but I mean, the guys that are all built and the chicks that are all built, dude, they're like in the 100,000s of followers.
I gotcha.
So that's what we need. I need to do something for the store that can bring those followers.
So you're saying end goal is to be fucking abs out?
Dude, on my new boat, you're going to see me 2 more months with my shirt off, bro. Pitching and flipping like that.
OnlyFans, you gotta subscribe to get the juice. That's cool, man. I mean, look, we all need to be a little vain here and there. We all need to be a little bit of, who doesn't want to look good? Who doesn't? Again, it's part of being a human, right? And that's cool, man. Obviously, too, that's a good motivator. But of course, being a healthy individual, health is wealth, and I mean, I really can't stress that enough. I mean, today's world, it's so easy to eat processed foods
donuts,
with, it's just so living a healthy lifestyle, not only, and I know you have children, right? Well, we didn't even talk about that, but obviously you want to be here for them. I'm sure, you're going to be a grandfather one day. You want to be able to be active for them. Nobody wants a, overweight, giant, huge grandpa that can't enjoy. I mean, you don't want to be that.
Exactly.
You want to be able to
go out, run with them, everything.
Your daughters, your sons, they have kids. You want to be able to play with them, you know? And I'm living that reality now with my family. It's cool to see my mom and dad just being able to interact with my child.
So I don't think you understand. Like, there's somebody listening right now to this podcast that is overweight, is having a very difficult time moving from point A to point B, and hearing that from you, like, you don't understand what the milestones that you can end up moving by explaining that. At your situation, like, yo, I want to look good. Like, I'm tired of looking the way I do and stuff. So I don't think you understand.
You got to be disciplined. You got it, man. Matter of fact, just earlier today, my wife was like, we saw Duck Donuts right down the street. And my wife was like, babe, they have giant donuts. I'm like, no, we cannot do that. Just You just have to say no, stay disciplined, get a good meal prep, everything going, and dude, pounds would just fall off. And like I said, I've only been doing this 3 months, and I'm almost at 20 pounds lost. That's actually pretty fast.
Yeah.
And I wasn't even meal prepping the whole time. I just started meal prepping like 3 weeks ago. So now it's really going to start off, and then. Oh, I just got approved for the shot, so now they're gonna start giving me the shot once a week.
Yeah,
so,
the TRT.
So I'm just gonna.
We're completely for that, man.
Yeah, I'm just still gonna melt right off. Dude.
Fucking gonna be TRT, dog. He's gonna come here. We don't fuck about shit. Nah, of course you shut up. Mark, get off your fucking head, boy. Nah, that's cool, man.
That's the thing, cool. Bro. Like, I don't think it's talked about enough. Like, at one point, us as guys, we're gonna need that. We're gonna need that shot. We're gonna need to get our hormones leveled out just to keep.
It's that diabetes shot, right?
That's the one I'm talking about. Oh no! I thought you were talking about testosterone, bro. I'm like, yeah.
Wait. What are you approved for?
No, it's
Ozempic.
Ozempic.
Gotcha. Oh damn! I thought you were gonna be all TRT'd up. I thought you were gonna be on trend in this bitch, dude.
Yeah, because once their testosterone levels drop, that's when we start to.
You should probably look into that. Talk with the doctor because you're at that. How would you say you were?
47.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you're at that age.
You're close to the age where like naturally your testosterone levels are gonna fall, right? You're an aging human being, and to feel that hormone, get that hormone therapy.
It's really
going to get you the energy and the drive to do the physically hard things.
Yeah.
So
there's a lot of people in the jiu-jitsu community that are older and whatnot. They take the TRT, and there's nothing wrong with it. And I encourage it. Anybody, if it gets your hormones leveled back up, I'm all for it. Because at the end of the day, bro, those old men, bro, they're fucking crushing it, bro. Like energy levels are all high. They're a lot happier. They're that's the thing. It raises the mood, raises the energy. Does everything beneficial for us. Yeah. So like I said, just anything that you can do, man, just drop weight, be healthy. I'm all for it.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. That's dope. So I think it's a great segue to do the product promo right now. We're about halfway through, or just over halfway through. But let's go ahead and get into it. I'm gonna let you take it. This is your store. You picked it out. Go ahead. All you have to do is whenever you do show it, just put it right here.
Bring it closer to you.
So what do you want to talk about? Take the reins.
Well, it's the what do you call it? The boxes for the jig head boxes. I think this is an amazing product. I actually posted this on Facebook to show how they work. Oops. I'll show you how it works here. Just give me a second.
No worries.
Am I good?
Yeah, okay. You're good. There's no time frame on these bad boys.
Yeah.
If I can open this gun. You fucking motherfucker. No, I'm working on my cussing too, because
it's all good, man.
I'm a big believer in God.
Mm-hmm.
Since I met my wife, I've been with my wife going on 12 years. She actually turned me over to God like 3 years ago, and actually just like 2 years, I really got real deep into God and just a whole bunch of stuff, and it's changed my life, man. I mean, a lot of things I used to be like, dude, I'm not doing that. Or I used to tell people, why do you pay tithes and all that? And dude, I do all of that, and God has completely changed my life. I mean, look at what he gave me. I mean, so now we pay it forward all the time, dude. I mean, I'm real big into that.
Nice.
So
okay, so what is this? It's got slots.
This is all slotted. Different sizes are going to be different. That's a 5, and this is a 3. So you can just lay your jig heads in there, and dude, they're not going to come out. I mean, this is just sick. I mean, you can put all your heads in there. You can actually attach your baits in there too. Okay. I mean, so that's just all I wanted to show is this jig head box. This thing is sick as hell. And I think in mine, I don't even know how many. I think I have like probably about 25, maybe 30 jig heads just in this. So,
and obviously this is a brand product, the no live bait
this
needed.
Is no live bait needed.
But can any jig head fit in there? Like if you had some 6-head heads, if you had like random brand shaky heads,
all of that would all fit in here. That's why I actually took a lot more home, because I'm going to separate all my bass gear.
Yeah, I was going to say, what about like jigs with skirts? Yeah. Like regular 3/4 ounce, half ounce?
The skirts would probably work in here, but they might take up a lot of room considering these is only like a 36-inch size. But I mean, I don't see... Sorry about that.
No, you're good.
So yeah, so I don't know. You could probably put your jigs in here if you don't have a lot of jigs.
So you said that's the 3-inch, and
This
then
is the 3-inch, and the
5-inch.
It's just
Let me
the
see
little.
the difference. Yeah, that's what I wanted to look at.
That's a little 1/4-inch gap. Oh, excuse me.
Shoot.
1/4-inch gap, and then that's like a 3/8 gap. Dang, you smell that salad? That's salada, boy.
So that's what it is. It's just the gap size is different.
So you can fit a bigger head in there.
I got you. So this is for the bigger heads. That's for the smaller heads.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So guys,
I took a lot of these home because, I mean, all your bass fishing stuff is all small like that. So
nice.
it's going to work out good.
So heck yeah. So there you go, guys. You heard it here first. You mentioned Unpacking Yakin. Save yourself 10% on the purchase. But these are the no live bait needed, and they're just called jig head boxes.
Jig head boxes, yep.
Nice.
Or you can look on the website as well. I believe I have them on the website too.
Nice. Sounds good. Use that code at checkout. Helps us out. Helps us keep being able to shoot our shit here. So do that, guys. Come on.
Come on.
Okay, so let's put these up. And
speaking of that, I got into bass fishing. I'm surprised you didn't bring that up.
I was actually just about to ask you a similar question, but go ahead.
Everybody knows that I do a lot of saltwater fishing. I do extremely a lot of saltwater fishing. So I've been fishing bass boat tournaments with my pro staff, Jeff. And dude, being on a boat is like totally different ball game, man. It just like, man, it's kayak, but on Hercules kayak.
Nice.
And so I actually went out and got me a boat, loaded it all up with bass gear, been fishing bass tournaments off the boat. So doing all right, intermediate right now, so we'll see how it goes. But man, I'm loving the bass stuff. I know what y'all feel now when y'all catch fish or on the hunt for them. Oh yeah, that's a straight up hunt. I mean, damn.
Yeah, no, it's different. No, it's different. I was literally looking at my next question. Which do you prefer, salt or fresh? So it's a great segue into that. So I know you've been, fishing salt forever. And I appreciate what salt does. I understand that it's the same. It can be a grind. The fish fight harder, but for me, it's just bass fishing. Yeah, chasing greenfish over saltwater fish it just does it for me. But what do you prefer more? Like, I know you've been just getting into bass fishing, especially out of a boat. But like, if you had to pick one, which one would you? Man,
I would still fade towards saltwater. I love offshore fishing, man. That you hook up on big fish, dude. That's just like a workout, dude. But the main thing I love about bass fishing is the hunt, dude. You got to figure out all these hundreds of different ways and techniques to try to throw at them just to fool this fish. So I'm real into that now. So I think I'm going to be doing a lot more bass fishing than I am saltwater right now. Nice. Well, I have to. I invested on the damn boat.
Yeah, dude, we got to get out, man. We got to get out to Canyon Lake, honestly, and fish those mats and the reeds and not the reeds, the mats and the big timber.
My boat's at Bear Marine and Tackle, so that's a pretty cool dude. I'll give a little shout out to him. Nice. He's taking care of all my other saltwater boats and everything, so he's a damn good guy.
And that's a bass boat, correct?
Yeah, mine is a bass boat. Yeah,
gotcha. I have a Nitro. You gonna run it at the coast or not?
Oh hell no! I'll damage that sucker. Yeah, it's a Nitro Z.
Nice. So that's cool, man. Good luck. I wish you the best on that. Getting into the tournament scene. I miss the tournament scene. I may get back into it as I get a little bit older and I get a little bit more time to focus solely on fishing. But right now it's, business, family, and just, unwavering faith in myself of doing what I need to do, where I want to go. Yeah. So what's the hardest part, I would ask, about being a shop owner? Like, what do you feel like are some of the hardest things that you have to go through kind of the day in, day out, that most people aren't going to be able to see, behind the scenes?
Man, the most thing in a business is what you don't see. It's the back office. It's pretty much what me and my wife do all the time, dealing corporate stuff, business management, money. Taxes is the major thing. Employee taxes, that stuff. Money in the back office is pretty much the biggest and toughest part of the job.
Like the most annoyance, you would say. Like having to make sure that the books are all balanced at the end of the day.
Doing books itself is just nuts, dude. God dang. Yeah. I hate it.
Yep. No, definitely pays to find somebody who's good at it, and
we just brought on our CPA to just stay with it. I mean, it's too much trouble. She was like, well, you can do a little bit, but then I'm gonna have to fix it towards the end of the quarter. I said, you know what? Let's just keep you doing it. I mean,
Gotcha.
We don't want to do it.
I can only imagine, man. You've got thousands of products in stock, so obviously keeping the track of that, logging everything. I mean, I don't know the systems. You scan them in or whatever.
We have to scan them in and everything. I think right now we have total SKUs in the store. I think we have 7,800 and something SKUs because we're building our new website. So our new website's probably going to be up in a couple of weeks. So that's why I know we're transferring all the stuff over to the new website.
And what's the website for people who may not know about it already?
The website?
Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah, like what's the website?
It's www.outdooralphas.com.
Sweet.
Yeah, right now it's still linked to the old one, but like I said, in 2 weeks it should transfer over to the new one. Man, the new one actually looks pretty fresh.
Awesome.
I built this last one, and I'm by far no web designer, and it shows on the website as I've been told.
Yes,
so
sir.
yeah, we actually got a professional to do it now for us.
Nice. That's cool, man. And then what about, and this is just the question that I've wanted to ask for a minute, is what goes into picking, or I think Roland actually had this question that he mentioned before, was like, how do you go about finding somebody who you want to be, who you want to sponsor for the store? Like what are you looking for in someone that may be out there that's watching this? It's like, man, I really feel like I got what it takes. I really feel like I'm on I got my ear to the water, and I know what's going on. I know what's happening. What are some things you look for when you're looking for a sponsored angler? That's actually a pretty
dang good question, because I always want to speak up on it. And now I don't want nobody to hate me on it, but a lot of people have a misconception of what a pro staff is, because it just depends on who's going to be your pro staff. Who's handing out the pro staff. Like, for instance, you're actually on our pro staff, and we have several others. Now, to actually be like really sponsored by Outdoor Alphas, we don't do what everybody posts and talk crap about all over online. And you only get 10% and you put all this work. Well, my guys don't get only 10%. I mean, my guys actually get well taken care of for everything they do. But the only thing we look in return is just growth, man. That's all it is. I like to get I actually like people that are level-headed and everything, that know and want to achieve in building something. Yes, I do own it, but I don't own it. I actually work here. So my job is to make sure that this store keeps on going. And I like to bring people that have that same enjoyment of this store to help me grow it. And that means, doing videos for us, go out fishing with people, talk to people. That's pretty much it. But I always wanted to talk on, some people always think that, pro staff is just crap. It may be with a lot of people that are handing them out. I mean, some of my pro staff are actually sponsored by a couple of other things, and they're like, dude, they gave me 10% to be on the pro staff. 5%. Actually, and some people do 10%. I'm like, well, it just depends on who's handing them out. So for us to sponsor people, we actually take care of them very well. So they would probably laugh at us if they were to get 10% off.
For sure.
Yeah.
So that's cool. So basically you're just looking for somebody who would grow the brand, would showcase the products that are sold in the store.
Yes.
And just, obviously have a love for the game of fishing.
Yeah,
right?
That's it. Help spread the word of fishing and teach kids out there, man. They're the ones that are going to be our future fishermen. If we don't teach them, then sport's just going to die, just like anything else.
For sure,
it
man.
has to be.
So, where can they reach you?
God dang.
If they're interested in a sponsorship, where can they reach you?
We take sponsorships normally at September, the end of the year, September. We start interviewing for sponsors. We do sponsor for 1 a year, although a lot of my guys have been with me for years because they're actually in it with us to grow something. So like Albert's been with us actually, I think 3 years right now.
3 years.
Rolando's been with me for 6 or 7 years. So it just, you can reach out to our website, Messenger, message the store. I really don't answer a lot of the questions on the store. That's actually the employees. That's actually Mark and Jesse and Rolando are on there that answer a lot of questions on there. So message them. They'll set up an appointment and we'll send you out a form and then set you up for an interview. And we start them at September. So I think this year We actually have a pretty dang good crew this year. So
that's the next question, man. Go ahead and talk about who's on the pro staff team, who are the sponsored anglers, and a little bit about them if you have that, in your head off top.
Rolando Nandin, he's the guy I just talked about. He's been with me a long time, 7 years, I want to say. Very experienced angler in the tournament scene. Everybody knows him. He's ranked very highly in Texas. He's doing very well for himself. He does a lot of our bass fishing out of kayak. Another guy we just brought, you're on our pro staff. He's been with us 3 years. Mm-hmm. Albert does a lot of the videoing and editing for the store, does the podcast advertising. He actually helps us with the marketing department. He does a lot of dang fishing.
Yeah, I tried to. I'm going to try to get out tomorrow. But and then so we got Rolando, who else?
Jeff Jones. He just came on this year. He's doing the boat scene tournament. He's the one that got me into buying a boat. So, we're doing boat tournaments together now, and he's actually doing very well with this. He does a lot of posting. Who else is there?
You've got Ray.
Ray's our saltwater guy on for doing the jetty fishing inshore. Ray Taraz. He also has a YouTube, so he does full-time YouTube, full-time fishing. And that's all. Like that guy just lives by fishing.
For sure. Is he still helping out at the Rigsby store?
He actually works at the Rigsby store as well. So
sweet.
Oh, and then I don't know when this podcast is going to be launched, but if you launch it due before Friday. Friday they're having hot dogs at the Rigsby location, and Ray's going to be out there hand-picking lures for you, what he thinks that you'll be successful this weekend fishing. So That's going to be interesting to see how many people come back and say, dude, his recommendation actually put me on fish.
Nice.
That'd be cool. Dope. And then we just brought on Michael Dominguez. He's the young guy. He's still in college at the Coast. Now, that guy is a fish slayer, man. He has caught PB after PB. I mean, you always see him posting. We share his posts. He's always on monster fish on light tackle. That guy can fish, man.
Nice. So that's basically what you're looking for. Guys like that can push the needle, that can move the needle, that whether helping on the back end, whether helping just catch fish. You know, some guys are just sticks.
Using the baits.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
I'm actually hoping to get on the water with Michael tomorrow. I finally got a hold of him.
Is he in town? He's in town,
but he's also he said he's going to his hometown or something today, and he should be back tomorrow. And if he's back in time, we'll get on the water. If not, I'll have to catch him whenever we can. But I do want to try to get him on the pod before he goes back to school because he is in college.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the whole reason why I was asking how can they contact you was because we have somebody young like Michael Dominguez, you know, and Michael, he's the new generation of anglers. Yeah. And ideally, store-wise, I want more people of his age group to start.
That's exactly what we need,
because they're the ones who are going to be passing this down.
Yeah. You got another young guy that...
No, Michael was the only one, but ideally, I'm going to be clipping this, and ideally, I just want other young fishermen to reach out to the store. That's the whole reason why I want to ask you this question. We like
to get the young anglers out there because, I mean, they're the ones that are out there having fun. I mean, and everybody wants to go out and have fun. Shoot.
Mm-hmm. They got the time to do it.
Yeah, they got the time to do it.
Yeah.
Ain't got no job.
Right? I'll keep my eyes out to see who I see, in the freshwater side of things, maybe that can also move the needle with, just getting on fish, all different types of tactics and all that, whether it's traditional, big swim baits, whatever. But that's cool, man. And then, man, really just wrapping it up, coming towards the end. I always like to ask a few questions. For you, it'll be a little different, but what are some goals for 2024 when it comes to the store, when it comes to you personally, when it comes to just growth overall? What are some of your goals for 2024 for Outdoor Alphas, the brand?
We already have 2024 pretty much planned out. You already know us. We do stuff crazy. Mm-hmm. So we do have something big coming into 2024. Really can't let it loose yet. We want to keep it under the wraps for a little bit. But it is going to come out pretty much about the same time, December, something like that, at the end of this year. Mm-hmm. So be looking out for that. And then, I don't know, I'm just going to be jumping in the tournament season. Hopefully I can do pretty well in the bass tournaments. and lose some more weight, man. I want to be able to wipe dishes on my stomach, bro. I mean,
Right?
dude, I want to build some suds off my stomach.
There
That's
you
it.
go. There you go. And the last question that I ask every guest, because I do want to compile all of these, when we're 3, 4, 5 years into it, what are a couple of tips when it comes to fishing that you think people should know, or some advice that you'd give? We'll do one freshwater tip, one saltwater tip, and you can start with, let's say, the freshwater tip. What are some tips?
Freshwater tip, man. I'm still learning myself, but one thing I did start doing was I've been watching a lot of videos, and I've been watching like Milliken a lot, and they're throwing like a lot of finesse stuff. And I'm not a guy like you're talking about spinning. I'm not a guy to throw spinning. I just, something about me, I just don't like spinning. So I found a way to throw super light, which, weightless, or even like 16th ounce total weight of bait with plastic. I've switched over to using some of my inshore gear. So I use my medium light Waterloos when I'm going to throw like a little 2.5 little, drop shot bait, but I actually put a little jig head on it, 16th ounce jig head on it. And dude, that's actually been working pretty good for me. And the same thing as spinning. It's actually just as light as using the spinning combo, but it's just an inshore combo.
Nice.
So that's a little tip on that. But
so basically, you're just tricking yourself. You're tricking your mind like, hey, I feel like I'm power fishing, but I'm really finesse fishing.
Yeah, I'm actually finesse fishing.
When it comes to, especially we're getting into the colder months. It's a January, right? I was looking at the whatever, I don't even know who puts it out, but the like 3 to 4 week forecast. And because obviously my birthday is this month, and we do an overnight trip or some type of camping trip with the squad during my birthday. Something that I love to do. And the week coming up to my birthday and the weekend of my birthday, dude, it's showing like in the negatives in North Texas. Dang. And we're supposed to be hit with a pretty good cool storm coming
right?
in at the end of the month. So that might have fucked everything up. But also just that colder months, you want to start finesse fishing. It's funny, you either finesse fish or throw big ass swim baits. Which
exactly.
Is what I love to do. So it's
cranking,
one or the other.
So I'm still learning with the bass. I'm liking it.
So what's your saltwater tip?
Saltwater is, man, I don't know. It's pretty dang simple. Casting the baits. There's really no trick to it. Just throw light baits. I'm always throwing light. I see some people out there trying to throw 1/4 ounce jig heads in like 2 foot of water, 1 foot of water. Way too heavy. I'm always throwing the lightest I can on my gear, and just be patient. Saltwater fishing is pretty basic. Jerk, reel in, jerk, reel in. Pretty much same thing, unless you're fishing offshore, jigging, but
nice.
That's about it.
So what I heard is saltwater fishing is easy as fuck. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it is. It's basic. It's basic.
It is. It's more finding them and then patterning them.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
What I've noticed is when I go saltwater fishing, I cannot be the guy that parks, wades in a cut, and just throws the same fan cast.
Yeah.
I like to be in the kayak and jig fish in my head, fish the mangroves, fish the tailing reds. I like to try to make it as bassy as possible.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned, I heard you mention it multiple times, freshwater fishing is hunting.
Yeah, it's hunting.
I like that hunting aspect of the inshore. I like finding the tailing reds. I like going into the back of a mangrove cut.
Yeah.
I can't be the guy that parks a boat on a big channel cut and then
just walks it. Yeah.
I can't do that.
I can't do that either. I got to be moving.
I'll lose my sanity. Yeah. So cool, man. Well, I'm happy we had you on finally.
I got one more.
Oh yeah, we only got one more question to end it. Okay, let's go.
So, is it true that you ran over a car at one of the outings here at Outdoor Alphas?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ran over a car?
Like you ran it over like a monster truck with your Jeep?
Oh yeah. I actually ran over 4 of them.
Yeah. So don't piss him off, all right?
That's because we have this inside joke where, like, if you end up upsetting Sam one night, you're gonna end up running over their car. Now people know where that inside joke me and Albert have.
Or if I catch you stealing, I'm gonna leave you inside the store and go run over your car.
Oh my God, that's funny. Well, man, it was a pleasure having you on.
It was a pleasure, brother.
I'm glad we finally got to do it, and we'll see you on the next one. Make sure you subscribe. Everybody. Tell your friends, tell your mama, tell your side girl, whatever. Let her know. Bye.
All right.
All right, bye.
And we're cut.
Nice.